Good evening and welcome to the Graham Craig Root Show. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Tonight's show is sponsored by Energy Awareness and Verso Fashions. We had no show last week. Jack Frost got in the way of that. I don't know if I'd have known that, I would have booked myself a 2-week holiday to Lanzarote. I'm back tonight. Thankfully, January is over. It really seems to be a month that seems to be like a year in itself. Into February now, guys, we have an absolute amazing competition on at the moment. Valentine's Day is like a week and a half away. A meal out in the city is definitely something to look forward to. So what better? A competition for the cockbull. Tonight we have a meal for two in the cockbull to give away to 2 lucky viewers. Just think of the burgers, think of the wings, I'm already excited. So guys, to enter into tonight's competition, like the Graham Craig Root page, share this post and tag your inner foodie. Who am I joined by tonight? 2 fabulous guests, starting with Josh Tannian and Letitia Lesin. Thank you so much for joining me, guys.
Very welcome, thank you for having us.
Thank you. So Josh, bringing people to a new level of fitness. How do you do that?
It's a tough one to answer, but I suppose in this day and age, people are getting a lot more health conscious. So being a personal trainer right now, you're kind of in the golden era of personal training. Really, like was 10 years ago, there was no such thing as anyone in Ireland having a personal trainer.
I feel like now at the moment, so this must be such a busy time of the year for you, because like we've just done Christmas, we all overindulged at Christmas. So I was up £8 myself, and I'm sure you have so many people coming to you in the similar situation. Yeah. I feel like people have gone very big into like health and fitness at the moment.
Yeah,
Crazy.
definitely. Yeah, I think it's the way the world is going. Like people are starting to look after themselves more. Like they're dressing better. They're hitting sunbeds and hitting the gym and eating better food and kind of enjoying themselves a little more socially and on holidays and stuff like that. Like, so it's good to see society kind of actually taking a moment to look after themselves properly, like especially with the mental health and stuff that's going on at the minute.
I feel like
it's good to see it happening. Like
exercise I feel like when you're going, even like I only do walking myself now, but like I suppose if you're going to the gym and you're really into like a set routine and you do have any say demons with mental health, fitness is a great way to kind of have the chemical working perfectly.
Definitely, yeah. It's a great way. Like sometimes it can be used a bit too much of a distraction, which I've had clients from time to time, going a bit, using it as a distraction as opposed to a solution.
So it's blocking out something that might be going on,
sometimes you can have stuff going on in your own life and you can go to the gym and you can hit it really hard and you can kind of forget about everything that's going on, but subconsciously you're still going to carry issues that you've had, which isn't the right thing to do at the same time. Sometimes you're better off facing them and using exercise, and it comes out the best result, really. Like.
And your own studio, where's that located?
Ballincollig.
Yeah,
so it's Exceed Fitness in Ballincollig.
Perfect. And one thing that I really liked about it, we chatted before we came on air, it's that like one-to-one kind of personal studio feel that you have, because I'd find going into a gym very intimidating, because I feel like I just wouldn't even know what to do with the equipment or the best way to go about it. But with yourselves, you kind of give people that studio time, and I know coaching is really something you're passionate about.
Yeah, 100%. Like when we first started Exceed, like we were trying to get away from the mainstream gym and just focus on getting clients to the next level, getting them comfortable, getting that kind of stigma of the gym out of the way, like, because that is again stopping people getting healthy, and people that have mental health issues, stopping them from kind of progressing on and really looking after themselves, like all because of you're afraid to go into the gym and kind of being surrounded by bigger and stronger guys that are going to scare you. Like,
so down in Exceed, it's not the thing where you kind of book your studio time, you do your session, you won't be there for the half an hour taking photos for Instagram.
No, we try and there's a small bit of that as well, like a bit of promotion and a few plugs and stuff like. But it's just we kind of get the 30 minutes hard work done, a nice chat and out the gap, then everyone feels great. Like,
and I know you like to teach people about nutrition and stuff as well. Like kind of main thing is like what's going into the body as well, and then to work it off like by doing the fitness and
of course,
stuff like that.
Like, yeah, definitely. We try and cater for everything, really. Like so like exercise is one part of it, like nutrition is the other side of it, like, and then you've got the kind of the mental side of it, the mental aspect of it, like is a huge part of it, like, and that's probably the side of it that I'd be best at. I nearly find myself heading down the route of life coaching as opposed to being a PT and talking so much in sessions, like, so it's good though, it's good.
And like, where did the passion come from for fitness?
I suppose I was always involved in sport as a kid, very, very passionate about sport, always exercising, and I was never any good at school, like, but I was always very good at talking to people and helping people out, and just found myself going down that route, like, so here I am now.
You kind of studied fitness as kind of when you left school.
Exactly, yeah. I dropped out of a couple of different college courses. I nearly became a mechanical engineer, which wouldn't suit me at all. Like,
you found your calling in the end.
I found my calling in the end, and I'm happy out.
So it's kind of, you can see you're passionate about it. And
yeah.
So I wish you all the success with Exceed, and I'm sure there's a few exciting things coming up in the next couple of months for you as well. That's exciting. Letitia Lesin. Hello, darling.
How are you?
Really good, and thank you for making it tonight. And wow, you look stunning.
Just a little something.
Letitia, like I think when people like take my hat off to anyone who does drag, but I feel like for yourself, it's not just a pastime because I've seen firsthand everything that you've done over the summer alone, not to backtrack over the years. Like I suppose 2017 you won Ringmasters down in Limerick, fantastic. But in the summer alone, like you main stage of Pride, main stage for Miss Cracker, a resident gig in Chambers, and then I'm looking on social media, I'm like, Letitia's at Electric Picnic. How is all this happening?
It's actually been quite a whirlwind. Like it all started many years ago. I think it was about 6 or 7 years ago, where friends of ours were just kind of sitting in a bar in town, Chambers actually, and they decided it would be great fun for one of us to do drag, and they all immediately looked at me. It was kind of a bit hesitant at the start, but 6 years later, here I am. I think like drag has become very mainstream at the moment. It's very popular.
Especially RuPaul's Drag Race is
Especially
massive
RuPaul.
for that.
And any young gay man, they're all very intrigued as to what it's about and how to do it. So there's certainly an awful lot of younger new queens coming up. But I've kind of looked at it as a bit of a lifestyle almost, because I go out on a Saturday night. Generally, I'm performing. Generally, I'm in drag, and it's easier to, I suppose, communicate sometimes with people because this is a facade. This isn't the real me. This is a persona that I take on. So, like touching off the mental health earlier, it can be a great kind of way of slightly masking your own private issues and still being able to enjoy yourself when you go out. And then I suppose the performance aspect is I've always loved being the centre of attention. So.
And you're certainly doing that today. I like it, definitely myself and Josh, like you're definitely doing that. What about yourself, Josh? Have you ever kind of got into Chambers? Have you ever been there on a night out to see these queens in action?
I'd never have, no. But it'd be something I would definitely be interested in going in. Like,
sure, we could even do a little makeover on you.
There we go. Yeah. No.
Might have to lose the beard though.
And yourself, like the looks, to put like such a look together now for tonight. Like how long? I know I didn't give you much notice for tonight, but how long does a typical
Graham,
look take?
On an average Saturday night, I would take between 2 to 4 hours to get ready, depending on what look I'm wearing or where I'm going or what event I'm hosting. Obviously, if it's a larger event, you wear something a little bit more extravagant. But nonetheless, minimum it takes 2 hours. This evening, you sent me a text message when I was in work at about 4:30, I believe, and I was ready in under an hour.
I like
but it was just a rush to the end.
And like what I find about yourself is like there's so much different styles, there's so many different looks. So who are your influencers when it comes to creating a look?
Well, I suppose for my drag persona and the brand that I like to follow, I'm very much kind of old Hollywood with a slight modern twist. Like there's so many different types of aesthetics for queens at the moment. Like you have your androgyny, you have your club kid. They're all very, very current. For me, I'm definitely more of kind of a Greta Garbo, Maureen O'Hara, Audrey Hepburn type of person, that old Hollywood glamour, as opposed to something a little bit more quirky and a little bit more modern. I suppose being a bigger person and being a bigger queen, it suits our role to be a little bit more glamorous as opposed to wearing something really skimpy, because let's face it, nobody wants to see a big person in very, very little underwear.
With the world that we live in today, we'll embrace any size of beauty, so we're accepted to that, and bigger is, so it's more attractive, and the curvy is huge at the moment. Like this, yourself, Josh, like I suppose it's what you'd notice. Like I think we've gone away from maybe wanting to be skinny, we've gone down the health route, and curvy is a route that all girls want to embrace, and which is great. And
100%.
as for our stage, we were in like girls want this skinny obsession. I think there was like size 0 came into it as well. But now health and curves are stuff that we're embracing.
Of course, yeah, shape, like.
Yeah,
It's shape is what people are into, like, yeah, it's not, thank God it's kind of away from that skinny, kind of unhealthy look, like, it's not good for anybody,
kind of curves,
like, yeah.
exactly,
Yeah,
because like
100%.
skinny isn't like, so it's just not like something again.
It's not maintainable, never mind saying not attractive, it's not maintainable.
It's not in any way.
I suppose I've always fought with a weight issue, but in the last 12 months I've taken on going to the gym. I powerlift outside of this, but it's not necessarily about losing weight for me now, it's more about strength and being actually physically strong. Size will follow after that.
No, and I find is that, like, especially with like even tonight's competitions, I love, like, you take the cockball inside in town, Dave, they're like, it's food you go in, it's so tasty, the wings, the burgers, like you can't limit yourself to like a couple of apples now a day, or a few glasses of water, like you go into the city, it's like one different food place after another, and like you can't, but like I see, like if you can inject exercise into your life, Josh, and you can still have that tasty food in between.
Of course, like, that's the thing, like, you have to make it a lifestyle, like, you know, you can't go day in, day out eating broccoli and, you know, Monday through Sunday. Like,
That's
it's just
one
not
thing I
maintainable.
find
Like, you have to be happy as well
Instagram
at the same time. Like.
at the moment. It's all like tins of tuna, protein shakes, and chicken fillets and broccoli. What would
Yeah.
yourself? Would you say you can go to your own place and still do that, obviously, for the muscle development and growth, but inject some of the real life
Of
modern
course,
food
like,
into
you
it
have
as
to
well?
like the main thing that we try and practice and preach and coach is happiness. Like, you know, and you can't have happy clients that are eating broccoli and not enjoying themselves on a Saturday night or not going out for dinner or cinema with their partners. You know, so you have to make this thing a lifestyle. Like, it has to be like you have to enjoy the small things and enjoy the pizzas here and there and enjoy the nights
And
out.
what's
Like,
your downfall, guilty pleasure?
do you know, believe it or not, I actually gave up meat.
Yeah.
So I'm actually trying to go vegan at the minute. Like,
That's
so
vegan's crazy
it's
at
quite,
the moment.
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like I'm on, and like I see a lot of people. I think as well, Beyonce and Jay-Z are really pushing it as well at the
Yeah,
moment. And
going
people are so
plant-based, like,
influenced by them,
course.
and they're going down this vegan route as well.
Yeah.
And like I was reading like a study there that apparently you're looking at an extra life expectancy of 10 years.
Yeah, like I don't know about the 10 years and stuff, like, but like definitely going plant-based for me has improved my overall health. You know, because before I was very, very focused on the aesthetic side of things. You know, we were looking to get six-pack and big chest and big arms, and you know, you kind of forget about the health aspect of it. You can be in great shape, but be unhealthy at the same time. Like, so I started kind of reading into the plant-based stuff, and I'm type 1 diabetic as well at the same time. Like, so since I started giving up meat and dairy, I haven't been sick a day since. So
Well, that says something in
yeah,
itself.
and
Like,
for a type 1 diabetic, when you have an autoimmune disease like that, like you do get sick, you do get run
and
down.
say
Like,
someone
so.
who is like going to the gym and like needs that intense protein, it can vegan work with that? Like, where would you get the intense protein percentage from then?
Yeah, like you get it from plants as well. Like, you know, it just like you get like from say chicken and meat and turkey and eggs and stuff. You get complete proteins. Like, so from a plant-based meal, you'll get a complete protein from a variety of different plant-based foods, as opposed to like say chicken or turkey, which would have all the essential amino acids. So you can get that from a meal itself, a vegan meal or a plant-based meal.
Perfect.
So there's no shortage of protein. Like, you
No,
look
it is, and there's
at
so much
600-pound gorillas, like, you know,
Yeah.
they're
Guys, while I have this opportunity, I just want to thank everyone for all the messages and comments that I've received in the last week. I've discussed a few life experiences in the last week, and I just want to thank everyone who's either commented on my social media, sent me a message, and I do promise, especially in the next couple of days, I will respond to every single comment and message, and thank you so much, guys. Guys, one thing that I've spoken about publicly in the last week was my experience of bullying, especially in school. Say, Letitia, has that ever been something that you were affected?
Most definitely, yes. I think I'm nearly 30. So when we were teenagers, I'm a little bit older than you, Graham.
What, just
definitely,
a couple of years?
just a couple of years.
Yeah.
Definitely, there was an ignorance regarding kind of homosexuality, and as a teenager, I was the gay overweight child. So most definitely, I was subject to bullying. But luckily, I had a very, very strong mind and a very strong family background, where I didn't necessarily feed into it because I didn't let myself. And I still have that same personality today. People are entitled to their opinions. Whether they're hurtful or not is their issue, not yours. I think it's definitely down to yourself as a person and how you embrace your own self as to whether you'll actually lead into bullying. So yes, it has certainly been something that I've come up against in the past, but has it affected me overly? Thankfully, I can say no.
No, and I wish I had some of that inner strength that you talked about there. What about yourself, Josh? Like, have you seen maybe firsthand, like, have you experienced it, or maybe seen it firsthand go on?
Like, definitely, I think, you know, being an Irish kid growing up in the school system and stuff we have, like, you're going to see a lot of it. Like, you know, whether you're involved in it or whether you think you are or you aren't, you're going to see it, or you're going to play some part in it, whether you're on the receiving end of it or you're giving it out. Like, so I think a lot of the time we don't know what's going on in other people's lives or how small comments and stuff affect other people. Like, so it's a very hard thing to say, but I definitely think everyone has a part to play in it at some stage or another. So definitely in the schooling system and stuff, you would see a bit of it. Like,
And do you think it was, like, in your case, do you think it was, like, patrolled enough in school? Like, did you feel like there was much, like, say, like, in my case, that's what I'm very angry about, because it wasn't patrolled as much.
No, I don't think it was. And I do believe it comes from a place of ignorance back then. Because, like, we're talking 13, 14 years since I finished school. So teachers weren't equipped to deal with the minority groups as they are today. Like, I have young relatives, cousins, and they certainly are going through the schooling system now. And even from hearing what they're learning in school, it's way more than we ever had. So, like, we didn't have sex ed for boys in school. It was only there for the girls and stuff like that. And the same with bullying. There wasn't that sense of kind of definite how to deal with it for both the students and the teachers. So, no, definitely it wasn't patrolled enough. Now, I reckon it probably is.
I feel like from what I think maybe in cities, yes. I think from what I've heard in messages that I've gotten the last couple of days, I feel like in still rural Ireland, it's a massive problem, and that it's still not, it's like still very much behind, like not something that they're willing to take front of stage with. In the cities, I feel like the cities are great. Like I feel like so much, the cities are embracing what has happened in, especially not like the LGBT world, but just like how this society has changed. The fact that we're embracing curvy now, the fact that like gays can we can get married now, the fact that we have the same sex adoption, everything has taken a full 360. So
I think it just takes a bit more time for rural Ireland to kind of catch on a little.
But how much time though? Because like it's I think
that's
we can.
like how long is a piece of string?
It is, but I feel like we can make these excuses for rural Ireland, and from that myself, I'm actually like kind of nearly embarrassed at this stage to kind of associate myself with it, because I feel like we'll make these excuses to say, oh yes, rural Ireland, but there's like they can't, like if we look at us in city life here, they can't be that much of a difference.
I suppose they can and they can't. I grew up in rural Ireland, as did you.
But different, maybe rural, like is this like
well,
you just
no,
outside
like,
the city, or did you
bit
still
more
have
than just outside the city? We were definitely rural Ireland. I'm from Coachford, so it's a small village with like more pubs than there is people. I have found over the years that it certainly takes a little bit longer for things to kind of become more mainstream. Like, if I had mentioned 10, 12 years ago that I was going to become a drag queen, I probably would have been outcast from the community. Now, would I probably walk down the street in full drag? No. But could you talk about it? Definitely. So I do think they are coming along, but it's more, again, it's ignorance. Their children are an awful lot more sheltered. There isn't that sense of kind of freedom like you don't have next door neighbours.
But do you feel like I find as well, like say kids can make comments, but do you feel sometimes they're hearing them comments, and so I don't feel like a kid is necessary. I feel like the way they're being brought up leads them to make that comment.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I definitely think like 100%. Monkey see, monkey do. Like you have to hear it from somewhere.
Exactly, so, and I feel like the issues that I had and the people who've given me the issues, I know their parents are ignorant. So are like we're ignorant to the topics, or ignorant to the way life has now gone. So I feel like therefore the kids are going to be ignorant from that.
I definitely would agree. I think certainly children are a manifestation of the parents. So if they're raised right, they'll do right, but if they're not, unfortunately, they won't. But then again, there's nothing you can do for those type of people. There's going to be them every walk of life, regardless of whether you're overweight, whether you're part of the LGBT community, whether you're underweight, which is another big issue. There's always going to be those certain streams of people that are ignorant and hurtful. But hopefully, going forward, people's mental health will be strong enough to deal with it.
Guys, you've all, like, thankfully, you've heard from Letitia here tonight, you've heard from Josh, those who followed my story in the last week, so thank you so much. But like, if you've ever experienced bullying in school yourself, or even bullying in the workplace, we would like to hear from you. So please do give us a comment, or so feel free to message your own experience. I would like to hear from you. Letitia, so tell me, Chambers this week, I hear there's something going on. Is it Thursday night?
Yes, so I am one of the resident queens in Chambers. I have been for many, many years, and it's a fab little family that we have, and we love it. But this Thursday we are doing something in association with CIT Rag Week and the LGBT Society in CIT. We are doing Snatch Game. Now, Snatch Game, for those of you that aren't familiar with RuPaul, is where drag queens impersonate celebrities. And it's kind of a bit of a comedy talk show, and they have to come up with the funniest, possibly the crudest comments to go with it. So we have to impersonate 90s celebrities this week. Which is fine for the likes of me, who's old enough to actually remember the 90s. For some of the younger queens, it should be a little bit more interesting. So yeah, that's on Thursday in Chambers.
And what time does that all kick off?
Show starts, I think, after 9. So then, and it's followed then by Trump Thursday, which is Thursday night, every Thursday in Chambers.
And
where
that's done by the fabulous Mia Gold.
That is done with
Yeah.
the fabulous Mia Gold. She is my sister and I absolutely adore her to pieces. So she hosts on a Thursday with a gaggle of loads of queens. So that's Thursday. It's a little bit more alternative, a little bit more student vibe. It's really, really cool. And then on Saturdays, you'll have myself and Mia Gold for work, kind of from 12 onwards.
Perfect. And I know yourself, like you do the drag, but like there's other sides, other performances that you do as well, like burlesque, cabaret.
Yes, I've been lucky enough over the years to work with some amazing people. A really close friend of mine, her name is Foxy Peacocks. She's one of Ireland's top burlesque performers. I've worked with her, hosted many of her shows, gotten to work alongside of Jerry Fish in the Electric Sideshow at Electric Picnic. So yeah, I've been lucky enough to dabble in that world, which some people haven't. So yeah, we have a couple of good gigs coming up during the year, so it's exciting.
So guys, if you want to dabble into the fitness side of things, Josh is your man. If you fancy injecting a bit of drag into your life, then Letitia's your woman. So you've heard it, like, so Josh, fitness studio again, Ballincollig?
Yeah. Say that again?
Fitness studio, Ballincollig.
Oh yeah. Just
If people want to get in touch.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So yeah, for anyone that wants to get in touch, we're located in Ballincollig, or you find us on Instagram. At Exceed Fitness is probably the best.
Perfect. And you're
Best
good
option.
for
Or
getting in.
Facebook, yeah. We're good to get back to people and stuff.
Perfect.
Look
And
after them,
Letitia, I know I'm trying to get you on the social media bandwagon, but I know you do like the Facebook and the Instagram.
Yes, Instagram, it's at Letitia Listen, and on Facebook, it's just Letitia Listen. You'll find me. Yeah, I'm not the most social media savvy person in the world, but I'm getting there slowly but surely.
Getting there. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Could have chatted for a lot longer, but the time flies and you're having fun. Don't forget about our competition, guys. A lovely meal for two in the Cockbull. So it's Valentine's. If you win the competition, that person you've been meaning to ask out, it's an easy way to ask them out. Lovely meal and there. So in order to enter the competition, like this post, share your inner foodie and tag, and make sure you share, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tonight's show is sponsored by Energy Awareness and Verso Fashions. Thanks, guys. All done. Thank you for joining us.
No problem at all.
Love it.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I kind of got a bit tongue-tied there at the end.
No, you're right.
But no, thank you.